Did the Suns get robbed?
Yeah, they got robbed of an opportunity. I mean, if you actually look at the video, look at where the ref is actually located on the court. You can't really see where the ball is currently for him to give a timeout. Like, you see the ball goes to the corner. Look, the ref is behind the play. How can he can't make that call. You can't, the ball is out of the pocket. So, look, I get that the Phoenix Suns were down 105 to 103. And you could save me with all the coachisms, because I know they're coming, right? Well, if you had taken care of possessions before the game, I understand how the game of basketball works. I understand that Anthony Davis missed a ton of chippies. I understand that the Lakers should have won the game by 10 to 15 points. I understand that they have one of the worst fourth quarter offenses in the league. You're talking about the Phoenix Suns, and they can blitz screen and rolls with KD and Devin Booker, and they can get fatigued. But the last two possessions that the Phoenix Suns scored, they drove and they racked it at the rim. So you're telling me if the ball actually comes back in their possession and they have a chance to rack the ball at the rim, I'm going to bet on Kevin Durant scoring the ball the way he did to find a way to send that game into overtime. That's the moment that I think we as fans were robbed of because the ref made a horrible call that, frankly, if that were me in fifth grade, if I were the coach of my fifth grade team, I would be on the court going ballistic right now, because people in kindergarten basketball know the rules that you have to have the possession of the ball to call a timeout. That's how I feel about it.
Steve?
Well, I respect your feelings and what have you, but I'm not going to go as far as saying that the Suns got robbed. It was clearly a missed call by the officials. There's no doubt about that. They were wrong, but what else is new? I mean, that's like talking about my receding hairline or the fact that Jay Williams is bald. How obvious can it be, for crying out loud? It is what it is. They make mistakes all the damn time. Every time we turn around, Jay, the referees are making mistakes, okay? This is what they do, all right? And not only that, not only do they have the audacity to make the mistakes, they be ejecting people, Jay, ejecting people for mistakes they make and get called out on it. If there was enough time in the game, they might have ejected Frank Vogel or Devin Booker or somebody for arguing with them. This is the kind of nonsense that's going on in today's NBA when it comes to the officiating. But we understand that at the end of the day, the Suns did commit 20 turnovers, which led to 25 Lakers points. We understand they found themselves in a hole early that they were trying to dig themselves up out of. We get all of that. The referees messed up, but that seems to be something that happens on a daily occasion. When I think about the Suns, I don't think about them getting robbed. I think about them getting, or I shouldn't say I don't think about them getting robbed. I think about them getting robbed by the fact that Bradley Beal has only played a handful of games, if less. That's what I think about. I think about wanting to see Bradley Beal on that court with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. When can we see the big three? When is his back going to get healthy? When are we going to see this lethal weapon three that we were all anticipating? I'm looking at stuff like that. Stuff like this happens. It'll probably happen again at some point in time in the season where there's one missed call or another that's going to cost them a game or so. That stuff happens. It's just unfortunate, but it's reality.
I just don't like when it's blatant, doggy. I mean, Stephen A., when the Lakers played the Celtics last year and LeBron James went into the lane and we saw that. Did you think that the Lakers got robbed from an opportunity?
Yep.
Right? So, that's the same thing.
I thought they got robbed of an opportunity.
It's the same thing. That's the same thing.
Again, it didn't determine the outcome. It just determined the possibility. It just eliminated the possibility of an outcome. We understand it wasn't guaranteed, is all I'm trying to say.
If you're eliminating the possibility of an outcome.
Now, Boston was different.
Right. If it eliminated the possibility of an outcome, that is being robbed of an opportunity.
Listen, I didn't like the call either. It's a terrible call, and I did not see it live. Saw the first half, did not see it live. It's a terrible call. They should have had a chance to obviously have a chance maybe to tie the game. Had a chance to win it. Durant missed a bad shot. Yep. But remember, with all due respect, it's a game in I know that was the Challenge Cup. It's not the NBA Finals. They should be able to meet later on in the year, and if that call happens in a Game 7, then we're going to scream for here to eternity. It's early in the year. It's Game 17. Durant's won 2 championships. The bigger issue for the Suns is what they do in the spring when the title's on the line. So I can't get that worked up by it in a scenario where it still theoretically is a regular season game with players who have bigger fish to fry.
Do you feel like the Lakers are on a higher level than Phoenix?
I do right now. That's just how I feel about it. You got Kevin Durant, you got Devin Booker in Phoenix, but the reality is that the Lakers they've got size. They've got, they can shoot the ball better. There's no question about it, but they've got experience. You got the leadership of LeBron James that usurps most things. I mean, the man is one of the league leaders in fourth quarter points. That's what he's doing right now. He's been balling. He's going to be 39 later on this month, averaging better than 25 a game and just balling out. And then Anthony Davis, when he chooses to show up, he's actually one of the elite players in the game. And so I look at it, and then I look at some of the personnel they have, the cohesion they continue to develop, the fact that they've got familiar bodies that was there last year. When everybody gets healthy, would I have more faith in the Lakers than I do in the Phoenix Suns? Yes, because when I look at Durant, despite his greatness, and he is great, there is no doubt about that. The level of assertiveness that you're looking for from him, a la Game 5 against Milwaukee years ago, Jay, when Kyrie Irving went down the game before and he had to take over and do his thing. That Kevin Durant is what I think is needed more so in Phoenix, even with Booker, because you know Booker's going to show up and give it as well. But they definitely need Bradley Beal in there as well. And until I see that, there's no way in hell I'm going to give the Suns rather, an edge over the Los Angeles Lakers. No.
I think potentially, though, Steve, they could be a better team. Because if Beal there plays well with Durant and Booker, that's a better threesome than anything the Lakers have. So as a result, because the Lakers don't have three guys as good as those, they have Durant and Dave, they have LeBron and Davis, who's their third guy compared to Booker, Beal, and Durant. They don't have a third guy as good as as those three. So if Booker comes, if Beal comes and plays in the, I got to see how these three play together. He's played 3 games. I got to see how these 3 guys play well together before I basically break down who I think will win a 7-game series between Lakers and Phoenix. And remember, Phoenix played a lot better against Denver last year than the Lakers did. Phoenix won 2 games. Lakers got swept. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
either.
Devin Booker was prolific. I'm going to agree with Stephen A. here on this one as of right now. I think the upside, scoring-wise, for Phoenix is different than any team in the league because if Bradley Beal comes back, they're going to beat with scoring. But I'm going to tell you something. Stephen A., I know you played this game. We've all played this game. You saw LeBron James, until he was blue in the face, exploit a defense that is going to be a major issue for the Phoenix Suns. Nurkic involved in pick and rolls is going to be an issue. Any team that has size, that has physicality, can wear the Phoenix Suns down. I mean, the Lakers had 20 offensive rebounds last night. They forced 20 turnovers. And I got another one for you, Stephen A. For as prolific as we talk about this Phoenix Suns offense being, Doggy, do you know where they rank in their fourth quarter offense?
Yeah, it's bad. I know that.
29th. 29th. Because guys are getting fatigued.
Which is shocking for a Frank Vogel team.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it, Stephen A? Because they're blitzing Kevin Durant off ball screens. They're staying tagged to Devin Booker. Now, that can change if Bradley Beal comes back, but guys are fatigued down the stretch. The lack of physicality in teams like Denver, teams like the Lakers, teams like Minnesota that have Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, the physicality in which they play, it feels like Phoenix's margin for error is a lot slimmer because they can't do other things as well as other teams can as relates to boxing out, rebounding, and really pounding the glass.
Remember, though, they were with Denver last year at 2-2. 2-2.
Devin Booker was averaging 45.
He'll do that again.
Devin Booker was otherworldly. Devin Booker was otherworldly.
Now they're going to have Beal. And now they're going to have Beal. The Lakers were smoked by Denver.
We don't know that, though, Doggy. No, not when you got a back injury. We don't know if they're going to have Beal. That's number one. I mean, I'm a little bit dicey on that. When the hell is he going to be back? The man's played just 3 games this year. And this is a back issue. So, again, even if you come back, you got to remember, there's very few things that are as debilitating as when your back goes out. And so we got to keep an eye on that and whether or not what Bradley Beal has left. We really got to ask ourselves that if the back injury is lingering this longer. Secondly, what you brought up, Jay, in terms of rebounding, what have you. Anthony Davis had 15 rebounds last night. 9 offensive rebounds. 8 rebounds overall in the fourth quarter. I mean, does Phoenix have a frontline player? I mean, my God, can somebody grab a rebound? This is what Anthony Davis was doing in the fourth quarter last night. So I'm just looking at Phoenix right now, and I know what Durant can do. I know what Devin Booker can do. But we've also seen that's not going to be enough to beat some of the better teams in the West. It's just not going to.
By the way, Stephen A., Anthony Davis missed like 5 or 6 chippies right at the rim last night in the fourth quarter. He scored 7 points in the second half after scoring 20 in the first. I mean, it really felt like the Lakers should have won that game by double digits.
I agree with that. But I don't know where the Lakers have gotten so much better from what I have seen to make you think they can beat a Denver Nugget team in an NBA semifinal.
That's because
I didn't say I would choose them over Denver.
That's because
I didn't say that.
But that's because you're thinking about their personnel, Doggy. You're not thinking about the fact that last year this team was assembled at the trading deadline. And what we saw from them was from the trading deadline on. This time you got an entire training camp, an entire preseason, and an entire season to really gel and get that cohesion that you need. So it's not about but the personnel is there. Okay, you got to surmise that they're going to be better at the very least than they were last year. I'm talking about the Lakers, that they'll look a bit better. Like, for example, if they were going against Denver this time around, would you still lose to Denver? I believe you would. I just don't believe you would get swept.
All right, last word here.
All I'm going to say is this is my last takeaway.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me at 38 years old that the only dude to play 40 minutes last night is turning 39 in LeBron James.
He was playing great.
And by the way, he was the best player on the court.
Yes, he was.
And that's with Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker.
Some of us would get better with age.
By the way, Molly.
What it is. Yes, Stephen.
Molly, LeBron James averaging 8.4 points per game in the fourth quarter on 59% shooting.
Oof.